Hello and welcome to Read Right Now. Believe it or not, I'm coming to you from the heart of Dublin. This is the Airfield House and Gardens here in Dundrum, an oasis of peace and calm in the middle of the city. A place to inspire you, and I'm hoping today I'm going to be inspired. And our learner too, Eileen O'Neill. I'm going to find her in just a moment. But if you want to get some information on schemes available to you in your area and a copy of the free Read Right Now workbook, reach for your phone now. The number is 1800 20 20 65. 1800 20 20 65. Guys, have you not had enough already? Here, a little bit there, look. Now I'm going to find Eileen and we'll leave these guys to it. Okay, here you go. Bye-bye, bye-bye, there you go. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Lovely
Jerry.
morning this too. How are you?
How are
Nice
you
to see you.
doing? Nice to see you.
And who's this lady?
This is Louise.
Hello
She's
Louise.
the printmaker.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good.
What do you do here?
I'm the printmaker in residence.
The printmaker
Yes,
in
yes,
residence.
yes.
Goodness gracious me.
Yes, yes.
And what are we going to be doing today?
We're going to make an original print.
And have you ever done anything like this before?
No, I haven't, never done it, and I'm hoping to learn today.
Also in today's programme we'll be learning all about text alerts, using symbols and filling in online forms, and we'll have a hint on how to use rhyming words to learn new spellings. Now what's the first thing we've got to do before we actually make the print?
We're going to take a walk around and look for some natural material that we can use as a source for making our print.
Now when you say natural materials,
We're looking for leaves, flowers, we're looking at shapes as well. We're looking at petals and that type of thing. I'm going to give you a bag and you can just put your bits and pieces in there and I'll meet you in the print room.
There's a holly leaf funny.
Oh yes, doesn't that look very nice?
Perfect, look at the great shape on that.
Oh, that's lovely. Isn't that really nice?
Pretty dry all right, isn't it? She
Yes.
said she wanted dry.
Exactly.
It's definitely dry. Let's move on and see what else we can get. Flat is the key word, I think.
Yes.
Look,
Look at that. That's very nice.
now there's two completely contrasting shapes from nature.
Yes. So I think we'll give it a try. We'll go and see, find Louise.
Find Louise and see how we get on. Why not?
Okay.
Eileen O'Neill has lived all her life in Leixlip, County Kildare. Her return to education has come some 40 years after her childhood experience of school.
I suppose I started school when I would have been 4. Like, I don't really know. But what I do remember is there wouldn't have been very good times at school. Looking back today, I wouldn't have had anything positive coming out of school. It would have been all very negative. I am told that I didn't want to go to school. I never remember going back to school after I made my confirmation. Now, I may have done, but if I did, it's a blur to me. I just don't remember. Once I wouldn't go to school, I'm sure I was said, well, if you're not going to go to school, you'll have to get work. We had heard about there was going to be a factory opening in Leixlip, and I eventually worked in that factory for over 20 years. Hunt's Associates Limited was a company, and they made bowls for smoking pipes. These are some of the bowls. I kept them down through the years, you know. And this particular one here, it was called Smooth, and the rough one was called Rustic. I can remember this machine here very well. We worked with machines like that, and that laid over there. I can remember that so well. Now, maybe it's not the same one, but it looks very much like it. There was times you did have to write, which a lot of times was just figures, but you did have to write in the names of the bowls that was coming through. I would have been really very shy, I suppose, or I don't know what, if someone came and stood behind me when I'd be writing. So I always made sure that if I did have to write the names of the pipes, that I would do it when I'd be on my own or get someone else to do it for me. Although I stayed for over 20 years, now when I think of it, I must have needed my head examined. I have a little part-time job. It's only for a couple of hours on a Saturday. It's a vegetable shop. Horrible day, isn't it? Oh my God.
Dreadful. Winter's arrived.
Oh yeah, sure is. Miserable. I love meeting customers and having a chat and a laugh, because I'm a real chatterbox when I get going. I don't have a problem today in spelling satsumas or plums. One time I would have never written a sign on front of anybody. You know, today now it doesn't bother me.
See if you can finish this phrase. The rain in Spain. I bet most of you said the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Why is that? It's probably because some of the words rhymed with each other. Rain, Spain, main, plain, which makes them easier to remember. Rhyming words can also be a great way of learning to spell words. Have a listen now to some more rhyming words and at the same time look carefully at how they're spelled. Plum and drum, mint and print. Each of these pairs of words has the same sound at the end. In other words, they rhyme. Because many rhymes are spelled the same way, hearing and recognising rhymes can sometimes be useful for improving your spelling. If you can spell one word, chances are you can spell another word that sounds like it. There are a lot of common words that rhyme. For example, the words right, light and night all end with IGHT. If you can spell one of them, you can spell a whole list of them. The words could, would and should all rhyme and end with OULD. With all these examples, all you have to do is change the first letter. The ending is always the same. You might find it useful to make lists of rhyming words which are spelled the same at the end to help your spelling.
Airfield is the former home of sisters Naomi and Letitia Overend, and the Gardens Farm and Restaurant have been open to the public since the 1990s. There are also various workshops on offer, and Eileen chose to try her hand at dry point etching, a type of printing, under the guidance of printmaker Louise Mead.
What we're going to do is make a composition and see what looks good together. This is our plate. This is what we're going to do our drawing on. So we might just arrange some of these and we can take different types of composition. We could say that's a composition, including that little one there. We'll use a dry point tool. It has a very sharp tip on it, so it's like a needle.
Yes.
And that'll scar into the surface of this plate. So in fact, you're really just going to trace off
Like
the
the
shape.
old-fashioned tracing.
Old-fashioned tracing. But every line that you scrape in the end, in your end print, will be a black line. It'll look like a drawing.
Oh, I see.
Okay?
Yes.
So I'll let you play with the leaves and work out your composition.
When Eileen returned to education, as she had hoped, she learned a lot more about reading, writing and maths. An unexpected bonus was a newfound interest in art.
These are my paintings that I done when I was on the course in Allenwood. And this would be the very, very first painting I've ever done. And I was amazed with it, I was delighted with it. And then the daffodils, I really love those because it reminds me of the springtime. It was hard to do for me to get the daffodil because I don't know much about drawing, but I'm delighted with it. I suppose that would be one of the ones I really like. I just love those colours that are in it. If someone had told me that 2 years ago, that I would have had a painting that I got framed, I just couldn't have believed it. So I think it's wonderful, and my nieces and nephews, they all think they're marvellous.
Eileen is currently doing a VTOS course, a full-time programme where adults can take the junior or leaving cert or get other training awards. The course, her part-time job and her painting keep her busy, but she still finds time to help out in a local St Vincent de Paul shop.
Okay, girls, have you not got enough to do?
Oh my God! Oh, for God's
No, it's
sake!
never ending.
I've been doing it for a couple of years, but I'm only really a volunteer in, I suppose, in the last 6 or 8 months. I really love it, and I enjoy the banter that we do have in the back, and you meet some very interesting people, and you get some very interesting things coming in. Oh my God, my luck is in. It's hand wash, or you can machine wash it. That's really nice. Now I like that. It's lovely. It's real designer looking, isn't it? Yeah, it's very nice. So Mary, I'm going to ask you to put that aside for me, and I'll get it Friday when I'm in.
Right.
Okay.
Let's throw us a few more of those things there, lad. Put them in here.
Betty, I think we'll send this into Dublin, and at least then it'll be going back in for recycling.
That's right, yes.
I think
I'll take it out, will you please?
I will.
Symbols are used everywhere we look, on the street, in buildings, in brochures, even on our clothes. In this reading tip, we're looking at some commonly used symbols. Symbols are a way of providing information without using words. Some examples of symbols you'll see on road signs are this one, which means no right turn, and this one, which means no parking. Many brochures, especially holiday brochures, use symbols to give information. Here's a few examples which show what is available at a holiday resort. Golfing, horse riding, swimming. We even find symbols on the clothes we buy. Sometimes they're easy to understand, like this one, which means hand wash. But sometimes they're not quite so clear, like these ones. The first one means that the clothes can be dry cleaned, and this one means that you should not use bleach. So, there are some symbols where we might need to ask someone what they mean, but others are perfectly clear. What they all have in common is that they provide information without using any words. And once we become familiar with the symbol, we can understand the message.
Read right now.